What started off as an April Fool's joke is now one day away. Welcome to the Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and we are now about to have dirt racing. This is our first look, one day ahead of the release. And for those of you who remember, this was actually first teased as an April Fool's joke, and it is now going to be released a few days before April 1st. So thank God it's not another April Fool's joke where they'll just say, April Fool's, not really happening. But now I'm on the dirt track with the Legends 34 Coupe, and we are going to take this for a spin. This is Williams Grove Speedway, so I am taking this car out. I am using a slightly modified baseline, and this is pretty darn fun. You really have to know what to do with the car. And this is a little lighter feeling than the other cars in the roster. This is one of the free cars that's going to come with the service. The other free car is the Dirt Street Stock, which is based off a Chevrolet Camaro. And this is fun. Williams Grove is not one of the free tracks that is coming with it. The only free track coming with Dirt is the semi-fictional version of USA Speedway, where iRacing covered USA Speedway with a lot of dirt, and they are giving that away as a free track, and I will show you that later. But all things considered, this is a fun car. It is definitely interesting though, because with it being underpowered, you really need to keep the momentum up. It is a 5-speed car, but I'm keeping it in 4th, and sometimes going down to 3rd to try to keep the revs up, keep the car in the power band. But I bet if you set up the setup, you could have it work in 5th, but I prefer 4th. And this is definitely fun. It is floaty compared to the other cars, which I have no real-world dirt track experience, so I don't know if that's real or fake. And this is pretty handleable, at least. It's manageable. I think this will make for some interesting racing. You really do have to steer with the right foot. You really do manipulate the balance of the car with the throttle. And then I'm barely using the brake to get it into the corner, using the throttle to carry it out, and it's pretty fun. So I'm going to do a hot lap in this car, and then I'm going to take you to the next one. Also, I want to mention, if you see the dirt flying up into the screen, it is at random, and it will obstruct your vision, obviously. You can map a button to remove the dirt, or it's removing the visor, so it's a map remove your visor button, similar to what we had in Netcar Pro or Race 07 in the past. So you press a button and poof, dirt be gone. And here's hot lap. Well, it might have not been my best lap this run, but you can definitely see a lot of fun. It's even in this rookie level car. Another thing worth mentioning is when the content is released tomorrow, the 2 rookie cars will be the only ones having official races. Actually, it's the lower powered cars, so this one and the Dirt Street Stock. I don't know if the late model will have any official races off the top of my head, but this car will definitely have an official one, so you can learn the ropes. The higher powered cars, such as the Pro and Super late models and the Sprint cars, they will be having their own fun series, which is going to basically not go against your safety rating, gives you a good way to learn how to drive and handle those cars. Okay, without further ado, let's go to the next car. Okay, so now we are in the Dirt Street Stock, which is, as I said before, modeled off the Chevy Camaro, and we are racing at USA International Speedway at night. So this is showing off another of the free cars. With the Legends car, it is a 5-speed sequential box. This features a 4-speed H pattern. So this is already different in that way. Also, this is a lot less agile. You'll notice that this is going to need a lot more brake in the corners to get low down, thrown in. It is a lot more dependent on weight transfer, which is great for learning. It's definitely its own different beast, which I enjoy. It's definitely a tougher car to learn, as you saw me just scrape the wall, but I'd say it's quite rewarding. And I'd say it's nice that this car is a tough one at the lower level, so it encourages iRacers to learn the basics of weight transfer, learn how to handle the car, things like that. Granted, I have a lot to learn, so it's a good thing for me, because I have no dirt experience. This is a good car for me to learn, I think. Granted, I almost think in some conditions the sprint car is actually easier than this, because for this you have to know the weight transfer, things like that. With the sprint car, you throw it in and hold on for dear life, but it's pretty manageable. And I'm in the wall again. As I said, this is a pretty tricky car, but it's a blast to drive too. I could see this having a lot more contact. And speaking of contact, iRacing also announced that they are going to be making changes to their system for dirt racing. Because of the nature of dirt racing, the incident point system doesn't really work too well with dirt racing as is. So a few changes are being made. First off, to constitute a spin, usually in iRacing it's if you cross the 90% plane. In dirt, they have slightly increased that. I don't know exactly the number, but you had to go way beyond the 90-degree plane to constitute a loss of control. So that is a good move by iRacing. Another thing is contact with other cars. They made a severe contact with another car a 2x rather than a 4x, because in dirt racing, beating and banging is natural, rubbing's racing, yada yada, all that good stuff. So with that, it's going to encourage hopefully slightly more wheel-to-wheel action rather than being scared of having a 4x. With severe contact with the wall, you are not going to have as much. If you saw, I just hit the wall pretty hard there to make a point, and that was still a 0x. You have to hit pretty hard to get a 2x. I'm shocked that didn't give me a 2x. So yeah, right there, gave me a 2x when I hit head on into a wall. So that is interesting to see. But with that, it sort of means that these cars are a lot more resilient than, say, cars that race on asphalt, which is pretty much a given. You've seen dirt racing, and this is a lot more resilient. As I hit the wall again, I have a lot to learn with this car. But hey, this is a good learning experience, guys. I encourage a lot of practice time to anyone looking to dirt racing. There we go, this is a good turn. Swing it out, there we go. Okay, slide to the corner. Roll on throttle, keep the momentum up. Bring it out, and across the line. This is a pretty fun car, guys. Takes quite a bit to learn, but once you learn it, I think it'll be rewarding for a lot of people. I wish I had dirt experience so I could compare to real life, but unfortunately I don't. But I can just say this is a lot of fun. So after this, I will move up the dirt racing ladder, and we will take the late model for a spin. How's that sound, guys? And I'm going to hit the wall again. I need to make one more clean lap, and then I will change the next car. So I'll see you in the next car. Okay, now we are taking the Pro Late Model around Volusia, and this is a track I actually haven't had any testing time with, so this will be interesting to see. It looks like a difficult track from what I saw of it in the track map, but let's see how it goes. This car is just a 2-speed, so it is similar to some other cars. Actually, I'm not sure. But, oh man. This is an interesting car. So you throw it in, and it basically just seriously steers. You roll in the throttle. Whoa, that is wholly understeer. This might be a setup mistake or something that I did. Whoa. But this is an interesting car. It really likes to slide, and it's very light steering to the right once you slide. And then it gets heavy once you catch the said slide. So this is very interesting balance for the car. If you tap the brake, it really catches out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But yeah, this is a pretty fun car. Unique track though, because the back stretch is curved. The front straight is straight. So the front stretch can sneak up on you. But it's interesting driving on the track because you do feel the grooves. You do feel like ruts forming. You feel cushion rising. And the track, it does get slicker as, say, a weekend goes on. And it's dynamic, which is nice. And then if the track is wetter, then it will be a little more compacted, things like that. So it's interesting seeing iRacing go to that level of detail. Granted, I don't know much about it, but all I can say is I'm having fun, guys. tricky car, though. Man, I'll say that. But rewarding. I can't imagine the super late model here. That would be a hoot. After this, we have 2 cars left, and then I will wrap up this preview, but they are some of the fun cars. The sprint car and the Craftsman truck. So let's get a hot lap in with this car, and then we will pull out those 2 beasts at Eldora. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not pretty. That's not pretty. Actually, let's wrap it there. Okay, we are now here at Eldora, also known as the greatest show on dirt. I am in the 360 sprint car, which I thought would be fitting. It is one of the more popular sprint car classes. So let's take this for a spin. Unlike the dirt late models, these only have 1 gear. But oh man, these are responsive. This is the twitchiest and most agile car ever. But it is, whoo, it's a blast to drive, guys. I'm literally keeping this wide open. Might not be good for losing momentum, but oh man, this is a lot of fun. Just feeling it slide up. This is a fun track, guys. Is definitely tricky though, but it is manageable, as I almost hit the wall there, but I didn't. You can also ride different lines on this track with the car, so I could see this being great for side-by-side racing. Let's see how that works out. I did do a sprint car race in a alpha hosted server before. There was only 1 other person and he was much faster, but I was starting to reel him in as the race went on, but unfortunately I couldn't reel him in before the race ended, so alas, I didn't really get to race side by side with him. But oh man, I could imagine this being a very, very hot series in iRacing, and this will likely be one of the fun series once this new dirt update comes out tomorrow. So this will be fun to check out, see how it runs. But oh man, the steering is actually pretty heavy, but it feels responsive, as you can tell. I'm getting a bit of an arm workout here. So let's try and highline a few laps. Never mind. That didn't work. Did not work at all. And the steering is a little broken now. But this is definitely a fun car. Whoop, it's gone. Pedal to the metal, guys. Oh, I almost put in the wall again. But yeah, I'm excited to race this. I might put up a hosted event later this week, which might be fun to broadcast for the community, and we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you posted on that. If you check out the Summer Racing Paddock forum, I'll have more information about said event. I would like to hear what guys... Oh! 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 Buddy! Now that's a wreck. Let's take a look at that replay. So as I was saying, I would love to hear your ideas on what car and track you would like to race. And you can let me know in the comments, also in our Sim Racing Paddock forum thread, which I will link below in the description. Man, that was a wild wreck. Let's look at that again and be good. Boom. That was an ugly wreck, but thank goodness it's virtual. We're all safe. Now, let's take a look at the Craftsman truck. Okay, last but definitely not least, I am taking the Chevrolet Silverado around Eldora. This is the only dirt track that is actually used in the NASCAR calendar, so it's going to be interesting to see how this is. It is worth noting that I am using my own setup concoction because I couldn't find a setup right now in the alpha, so I actually repurposed a Dover setup, made some tweaks to it, and am using that. So this feels very floaty, not much weight onto it. It feels a mix between the late model and the Legends car, where this is very light steering, but you really have the momentum shifting. I have no clue if this is representative of final quality. I would say that this will likely be tweaked before tomorrow, but oh man, this is actually pretty fun. It's going to be interesting to see how racing fares at this track, especially with drivers trying the high line versus the low line, things like that. But, not too shabby. Keep the momentum up. Actually, I'm going to close off this video with the big block 410 sprints. So I think that would be a fitting send-off for this. But this car is pretty fun. A little tough to control, but I could see this being an interesting series if you have the right setup dialed in. Which I don't think I do, but I bet there is going to be a good setup come release for this. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, that's definitely not a final setup, but we'll see a cool setup when it comes out soon. Interesting thing is we're not seeing the dirt flung up onto this. We're seeing the dirt kicked up by the tires, but we're not seeing the dirt being flung up onto the car or into your visor. So that's an interesting touch. But this, actually, once you learn how to handle it, it's pretty manageable. Whoa! In the wall. That messed up the steering, and boom, I'm wrecked. Okay, let's pull out the big block sprint, guys. Okay, guys, here is the fastest dirt car on the service. The 410 big block sprint car. This thing is a beast. Just watch this, guys. Hold my beer and watch this. Woohoo! Yeah. That was a wheelie in a sprint car. This thing is nuts. You saw me driving the 360 earlier. Now this is the 410. You can see it is that much wilder. the steering requires that much more, but it's still pretty manageable. You really throw the car though, like that. And oh man, this is a lot of fun. I can't wait to race wheel to wheel against these guys. You can really throw it in, ease it out, run the high line. The momentum up and scrape the wall, but still keep going. You can see the dirt is getting flung up pretty fast again because this is such a fast car. It flings up the dirt so violently. Ooh, that was a big wad of dirt. In real life, you would really peel off your visor in the middle of the turn, but oh man, this is insane, guys. Oh, hit the wall again. But oh gosh, I gotta say, you need to play in triples or VR to get this full experience of throwing the car in the corner, feeling the forces, watching the car slide. Is a blast. This reminds me of watching sprint cars at my local dirt track. It is insane. One time there was about 30 cars on track and it was just downright carnage. Blank pun intended. But this just feels amazing. My arms are sore, but it's worth it, man. This is a blast. This is also one of the most manageable cars, surprisingly, in my opinion. You basically just point and shoot, as opposed to the other cars where you really have to manage a weight transfer. But this, I could see being very challenging for racing because you have to be able to hold the line. And that might be the tricky part. So it'll be definitely interesting seeing how this works out. But I am extremely excited to see Dirt finally going live tomorrow. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. And stay on track. And stay up to date on the latest going on in sim racing. I know I just totally butchered my ending catchphrase, but hey, it's worth it. I'm having a lot of fun. Also, join the Sim Racing Paddock forums. I will be setting up a race on iRacing in the near future. I would love to hear your opinions on what car and track combination you would want to have for this race. So let us know what you would like. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and you have a great rest of your day.